Right folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the middle of the Scottish countryside, and today we're joined by the channel DJ and we're beside this main road. We're kind of up near Northwater Bridge area in Angus, Scotland here. There's total tractors and stuff driving past. This is a really busy road and that's the main dual carriageway north from like Dundee to Aberdeen, and we're coming to look at this old abandoned church here initially, and then we're going to have a little walk down and have a look at these old bridges and stuff that's down here because it looks really interesting. But yeah, let's get on with this adventure folks. It is a little bit windy unfortunately out in this open bit of land here folks, but yeah, the adventure's real once again. Check this out, the wee church is just beside the dual carriageway. And like when we've driven up and down here, we've seen it a couple of times now, and we thought it's definitely worth coming in for an adventure because yeah, it's right on our doorstep. A bit of ancient history here. Check this out folks, we're on the boundary here of the ancient graveyard. We've just made it in. Look at these gates, it's quite crazy. It's like there's little like dikes halfway up. It's interesting, look at the old structure here of this. So cool to see that it's still getting looked after and the grass is still getting cut here. Some of these graves look ancient. Wow, just think at one time this busy main road wasn't here. This church was probably standing on this prominent mound in the land, kind of overlooking this incredible Scottish landscape. Yeah, some of these are like 1920 and stuff like that I'm seeing. 1929. Wow, look at this old structure folks. You can see how the weather's been taking its toll, but the bricks have been repointed at a certain time. Wow, look at that. Look at this here, you can see where they've had like little window shutters or something at one time fitted on. And then look at the arched windows right there folks. I love how the sandstone looks here. Wow. It's unfortunate when you see stuff like that. Look, that looks recent. I wonder if a tree branch or something maybe come down and knocked that. Anyway folks, we'll go inside and have a look at this ancient carriage. It's interesting to see the old construction of these sandstone buildings. Wow, look how old these graves are here. Look at this is ancient. Check that out folks, right there. Stone carvings. And then look at this. It's got the skull with the crossbones and the egg timer. Or the time symbol it is folks. Some of these carvings are absolutely ancient. I don't really want to scrape the moss off of there because often that can protect it from the worst of this Scottish weather here. Especially when it's frosty and the frost can break the top layer of the stone out. I'm guessing there must have been a little bell up there at one time. Check this out, this is the coolest feature here, look at that. It's crazy the way the wind and the rain and that is just worn the sandstone here over the years. Yeah, it's incredible. I wonder if it had a second little attic space up there from the shape of the stone.
It's all one family that's in the
Is it?
Yeah, the Lyons.
Oh, aye, this is all the Lyle family buried within the grounds of this.
This guy died when he was only 19.
Aye.
It's James Lyon.
Oh, look, aye, 1891.
Oldest son of Robert Lyon.
The boy died in Edinburgh. It's crazy folks, the history, and often look at the detail of that stone carving. There was maybe a different stone here that which should be moved to another church somewhere. Yeah, look at the stone carving there folks. It is cool to have a variation of like different history from like different time periods in Scottish history. Look at this. There's been something in that section as well. Wonder if there's some ancient treasure buried within the walls here. Now look at this here, look. 1851, folks. Just think how long ago that was carved into there. Ken, it's just insane history right here. And the stone's still in great condition.
Here, these guys are living to be quite old.
Yeah, these are also the Lyle family. Yeah, look, and there's some old remains there. This has been obviously changed, I think. But I reckon this would have been deeper. Ken, over the years it's filled up. Look at that interesting detail there. There's a hole there in the bottom stone. Yeah, it's crazy. And look at that, there's been something there maybe for a window or a door. Yeah, Ken, what? There's been a window here. I'm wondering, this end, I get the feeling this has been a separate door. And I think this has maybe been where the minister stayed. I get the impression that there's been something else going on with that. It's like there's been different stone repairs at different times. But it's something that went on in Scotland, like back in the Victorian era and that. The Victorians used to come to these locations and like repair the places and like maintain the places. A lot of the time when the bricks were repointed and stuff, it was in the Victorian era. Sometimes they would get like picked the stones and stuff and drill holes to put like metal straps in them and stuff. Yeah, it was a different time in history and archaeology back then. So just think at one time, folks, there would have been a big chapel door on here potentially. Look, there's a big stone sticking out down there. Yeah, just imagine the sort of folk over the time this has been here that's probably come around and through this area in Scotland. It's crazy, the history of something like this. Look at this massive stone here, wow. The details are hard to even see really. There's incredible stone carving right here. And it's a massive stone.
1763.
Wow, folks, look at this, 1763. And like this chapel here will actually date back to those times. And it'll be an ancient chapel, maybe even earlier than that. Wow, look at the stone on the top of that roof. It's a little cross. That's a crazy little historical detail. And then check this carving out here, folks, on the top of this stone. Just think, 1700s this was made, and like the detail and like the fact it's in such great condition. Mind-blowing history. Wow. This is absolutely insane, folks. Check this stone carving right here. This is absolutely insane. I can't even believe that, eh? I need to get a photograph of this for sure. And what year are we talking? This was like 1803 was the first date. Oh look, 1737.
Yeah.
So that shows you, folks, this sort of detail. Like, they were carving this in the early 1700s. And like nowadays you didn't see anything like that. And that shows how special the ancient history again around Scotland really is. Look, there's been metal bits in there as well. I'm not sure if it's been restored or anything at one time. It looks original, but it's in great condition. But I need to get a photograph of this because it's epic. So there you go, folks. Look once again at the detail on that carving. Look at the fingers even on there. Look at the hand and stuff like that. It's absolutely craziness. And look at the crown. This is so cool to see this, and it just shows it was worth coming in by a place like this to visit and document the history. And even the stone carving here, like they've spiralled it up. Incredible scenes, folks, once again this week. And look at the detail on this cast iron. It's cool to record and document history like that, because literally every year stuff like that degrades more and more with the weather. Yeah, often gets lost. There's been other graves with like cast iron pillars. I'm going to take a walk around the back and just have a look. down the side of there. Oh, look at the back of this one, folks. We didn't even notice this. This is incredible. This is all upside down. Yeah, it's like a circle with 4 different people on it. Wow, this is spooky, this sort of carvings, folks. Look, 1761. Yeah, it says also here lies Mary Buchanan, a child who died March 1761. Incredible, folks. So that's a cool old stone cross and carved stone up there, folks. But also up here, the bell tower is carved and it's actually got some Roman numerals on the side. I think it says MDCLXXVI. That's what it is, folks. It's hard to see with the bright sky behind it. Oh, look at this window. See, it's been changed at a different time. Because look, this will be an original window. It's cool just to look at the old historical details of them. Like 1852 once again. And then here's that main dual carriageway road out here, folks. Then often when you're driving up and down north and south of Scotland here, literally you're driving past history like this. Yeah, it's crazy. You don't even know the rich history of Scotland often. Anyway, folks, let's carry on round. I was just having a look over the edge of the wall to see. It must have been built early on, roughly around the same time as this carriage. And then, yeah, it's had a different, maybe a window or a little door at this side, which lines up with the door at the opposite side. Yes, folks, here's actually a marker of some sort. Check that out. Could be a little grave there or something, or... Oh, look at this one. 1881 there on a shield. 1879. 1913 is the most recent year written on there. Like, it's been crazy, folks. I didn't even think there'd be so much to see at this little chapel, and then seeing the carving on those gravestones for the early 1700s blows my mind, folks. The rich history. And I don't know if you can see it in the distance, there's an old Viaduct bridge there, and we're wanting to go and have a look at that now. So yeah, if we can make it down the path today, we might have a look underneath the more modern, like, dual carriageway bridge, just to see. We're just exploring the area, folks. It's always spontaneous on this channel. We have a rich variety of history, and yeah, today it's been a chapel, pre-1700s potentially. Right, folks, we're now at the other side of that field from the old chapel we were just at, and now we're down beside this river. And look, this is the current where the main road comes over, the main dual carriageway from Dundee to Aberdeen. We're literally a way to go underneath this bridge, and look, you can see the old bridge as well. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. Massive viaduct that would have probably been the main road before they made the dual carriageway here, I'm guessing. Yeah, there must have been a network of, like, small main roads, and then they changed it so the big road was there. Look at this. I was just seeing the end of that, and it looks quite crazy the way it's constructed. We love seeing construction, folks, from all eras, not just like 1700s chapels, but modern bridges carrying the current main road up here. And I believe this is like little fishermen's paths and stuff along the side. Wow, look at the size of these cement thingies here. What a scene. Wow. There's the old bridge up that way, folks. This bridge is almost like an urban environment. Oi! I had to try the echo there, folks. Here, it's actually insane being underneath this right now. Wow, you can see the locals have been down tagging it up. Wow, these pillars and stuff are massive.
It's quite deep, right?
Yeah, it looks super deep around here. The water looks quite peaty, but also it's quite clear.
It's clear.
It's just so
The
deep.
color of the rock.
Yeah, but even here, okay, it looks insane. So this here is a cool spot down by the river's edge, folks. You can actually see the massive girders with the bolts and stuff joining them. It's cool. And then the cement construction on top of that. It's cool off and just coming to a spot you've never been at before for a look. Yeah, we could see this from the main road when we went to that chapel. It's crazy to see the new bridge alongside the old one. And the different construction that's required for modern industry compared to the olden days, like super slippy on that embankment there, folks. Here it's crazy how they've got cement there, but yet they've got stones there. That's the sort of bit you could come to with a BMX, do some tricks down onto this bitty. Wow, the river's so deep here, swirling and churning. Here it would be so epic to swim here, I think. Wow, see that? It's like built in under the water, like a whole... Yeah. Look, the side's starting to like cave over a bit, eh? Check this out, folks. Wow, real adventures right here on the channel. Who would have known it, right? Here, there's been somebody up there. How did he get up there? Like, that's dangerous, folks. It's not condoned to go up in a place like that. He must have climbed along that beam. Crazy times, folks. The things you see when you're on adventures. Look at this, folks. Look at the way the end of this is mounted on here. It's crazy to think there's literally like trucks and stuff going over the top of our head right now. Look, there must be an area in there, like a cavity.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they ate like that. Oh, that's supporting the actual girders. The massive girders, folks, is supported on those. I just heard like a bus or something go over. We'll have to watch because it's super slippy at this middle bit. And we didn't want to go fleeing down the hill. Here, talking of which, in the summer, kid, put a rubber ring on a sledge, fly down there off the end, and then you're on your rubber ring in the water. Wow, just like we're between the two dual carriageways now. It's crazy to see the construction and the ironwork and the amount of cement. Look at this, folks. We're right in between the dual carriageway right now. I'm not wanting to climb right up. This is crazy. Yeah, and then this side's the same. Crazy construction. Anyway, folks, we'll go down and have a look at that other bridge. The adventure of climbing up like that, it's so interesting. We might go back down where it's dry though.
Yeah.
Here we go, folks. We're going for the descent. I don't know if you can actually tell how steep this is. It's quite steep. It didn't feel this steep when I climbed up.
It's fucking steep.
This is super steep, folks. The adventure's always real on this channel, folks. We go for it. Get the footage. Because I love seeing the massive construction and stuff like this. So the climb's worth it. Don't know if you can tell how steep it is from where the channel DJ is standing right now. Anyway, folks, onwards with this adventure. We'll go up to this other older bridge and have a look at its construction, because it's the old sandstone construction, probably built early 1800s, most likely. Maybe late 1700s, early 1800s. Yeah, so we'll head on along here and have a look, folks. See, there's actually a rubber ring up there for saving your life, folks, if you fall in the river. Here we go, folks. We'll skim a stone out here onto the river. I just say get the angle right here. Look, there's a lot of skimmers. Here we go, folks. This one's not the best, but we'll give it a try. Look at this, folks. We're approaching the ancient bridge here, and look, it's like smooth sandstone bedrock here, worn by the river. And from what I've seen, I think rivers are quite low this weekend, like. But yeah, it gives us a right opportunity to explore underneath this bridge. It's insane. Here, it looks like there's been a little, like, weir or something here at one time. Crazy, folks. It looks like there's like a little measuring device there for the river. Wow, what a landscape, folks. It's crazy just to see this, the different abandoned wildernesses we end up in. It's just wild. And like a bridge like this, just think how long it stood there. Look at the old railings. It almost looks like the Victorian railings that you see in like Montrose around some of the parks. Check this out, folks. It's a 3-arch viaduct, at one time carrying the main road. Yeah, that's how it was cool to check out that more modern bridge now in comparison with the time that's passed. Again, humans have evolved now, needing that double road over there because there's so much more traffic. Yeah, look at the way that the stone is built on this. Wow, this is so cool, folks. The river's super smooth here. It's got these massive pillars, probably to split the river when it's high. Takes the force off the main pillars. The construction's incredible. It's probably been like repaired over the years, I would think. It's absolutely massive. Wow, look at this, there's some lead fittings in there. I don't know what's been on there at one time. There must have been metal railings here at one time. Oh, like the bricks is held together. That's what it is, folks. Look, the bricks is held together with metal straps, and you do see that on old stone constructions. Oh, look, there's metal pieces around some of the bricks. Oi! You get a good echo here, folks. There's literally houses right here now. I'm shouting. Yeah, look at that, the way it's carved and shaped. Wow, folks, standing under a giant right here. Something we've never explored before on the channel. It's like, it's cool just to keep going like fresh locations and recording different bits of history. The river's so smooth, just leading it that way. And I think the sandstone bedrock's all over this area, under the water. I'll let you get a picture of it from this angle, folks. It's such an impressive structure. It's cool just to document another bit of history here.
See what I've noticed though, under the water, it's more fucking, like you don't want to be swimming in it.
Aye, like algae and stuff like that. Yeah, but that could be coming out of this burn and stuff.
No, but I even see it away.
Oh, aye. See some river sections though, they do have a lot of that algae stuff in them. Because I've noticed that at Justin Hawk as well. Yeah. Yeah, further up there it was different, but there was more flow. I think that stuff builds up when there's like not as much flow. It's like a green, pasty, algae kind of stuff. Or algae as some people call it. Wow, folks, what an environment we're bringing to you once again on the channel. Crazy history just spanning this river. Imagine them trying to build those pillars when the river was flowing around that. Yeah. The river would have been ferocious. They might have had to like redirect it and then assemble that stuff. But look, they've carved each stone to fit onto the bed. Oh, there's little fish down here. I've just seen them swimming about in this little rock pool. But yeah, look how they've cut the stone here to fit on the actual bedrock. That's an interesting feature there. And then even like there, it's actually, you can see it's been carved like a curve. And then that massive bridge just on top of all that. It is interesting how the shape, maybe they like cut the bedrock as well. But yeah, crazy architecture, folks. Look at this, folks, this end, like wall here of the bridge has got squares in it, like there's been beams. And they do line up with the beam, like holes there in that wall. So I don't know if originally there was some sort of beams across there, maybe wooden beams. It is interesting to see that though. If it has been wood beams, so they've not been in far. And they must have been constructed with a stone around them, potentially. No, unless they had some sort of wooden structure in the middle. Crazy though, folks. Yeah, check it out. It's just a crazy landscape. Look at that, the way they've carved the lines for the finish. And look, you can see how the stones have actually moved slightly now. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's been fixed or repaired actually with this outer stones, to be honest. Because it looks like they're of like a different construction. So maybe this bridge was changed over the years. Yeah, that'll be water tanks or sewage tanks for the houses. That's probably how the river's full of that algae too. Do you think that's in it? I think that's just the top of a tank in the corner. I don't know if it is like a World War II tank trap. But we'll record it anyway, folks, just in case. I think it's more likely to be a lid or a tank. Oh, I hate to get a photograph for this angle. So from that clip there, folks, you can see how green everything's starting to get now. This last week or so, the trees are all starting to come out and the bushes and all the grass is starting to grow. So often exploring certain locations becomes harder at this time of year. But I do love it in the summer when all the colour and stuff is back out. So yeah, it is insane. Everything's getting so green now. After the dull, dark colours of the winter. Look at this wee street here, folks. It looks epic. We've now come down the road here because we're wanting to go on top of the bridge and have a wee look. Just to see what it looks like. Just imagine the old cars and stuff going over the top of that back in the day. It's interesting to see, folks. See what's left of it. It's another bit of abandoned history of Angus, and it is a massive viaduct. And this would have been the main road right here through the town, and now just nobody comes round this way, which is insane. Yeah, this hall must have been put in at a later time. Check it out, look at these railings and stuff. They're all ancient like railings, probably made by a local blacksmith. Probably at one time painted and looking fine. And it looks like recently they've been painted red. Yeah. Or maybe that's been red oxide, like primer. No, they do look original, but then look, there's been other railings out at one time. And look, that's two separate stones that's been strapped with that metal strap. It's cool to see the construction and stuff like this, folks. Imagine the history and stuff when it was put in. I wouldn't want to lean too hard on one of these edges, like, but there's where we were down there a minute ago. Built right onto the bedrock. Yeah, I wonder how that occurred, because there's actually a whole bit of metal missing for here. It's maybe been a car crash back in the days. Maybe been an old Austin 7 or something, come round there too quick and cowp it on there. Crazy, folks. The wind is blowing now, we're up on top of here a bit more, but just think it, you can tell like it's been used up until a time when they had tar on the road like this. It doesn't actually look too bad. There's worse road surfaces on the current roads, folks. So maybe this was still in operation maybe until the 80s or early 90s, I'm guessing. But I don't know if that's accurate or no, but yeah, it's a spontaneous adventure, folks. I go to these places and I say what I see, and literally it looks to me like this was probably in use until maybe the 80s. But it's still in really good condition. Even this railing. It's so interesting to see.
So they've had the bitumen support.
Yeah. Because the original road level would have been a lot lower. And they might have had gutters and stuff as well, which emptied out into the sea, the river. See, like, this stone's been on a completely different bridge at one time by the looks of things. Yeah, they've been trying to seal it so the water doesn't go under the road surface, because in the frost that would just bust it all up. But there has been repairs in places like that. But yeah, and then you can see how the main road then would have just gone off round, and then it probably followed where the modern dual carriageway is. The old road probably went somewhere across there, but I'm sure there is a road that goes across by Power Washer Services. So maybe all these roads, there was a junction there or whatever. Insane scenes, folks. But yeah, we're about to head back along now to the car over this majestic old bridge. But it's been a cool adventure. We'll end it here. Tune in again soon for the next one. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll see you soon, folks.